Tonight on the Key Model World TV show, we pay a visit to a massive home-based layout.
We check out Accurascale's Class 92 for double O gauge.
And we visit Milton Keynes Central Station for the start of Making Tracks 3.
Is it expensive and when can I run it?
And I guess that's what we've come for.
Hello and welcome once again to the Key Model World TV show. Tonight you join us for an hour of model railway features.
We've got lots of great things lined up tonight. We're going to go and visit Michael Rhodes, who's got a huge double O gauge layout, entirely home-based, based around the Barrow Hill area in the 1980s with BR Blue motive power. And then we're going to take a much closer look at a very special locomotive that's on the desk today.
The Accurascale Class 92, of course.
That's right, yeah. Fully feature-rich, loads to talk about, lots to show you, so we're going to go through all the detail of that with you right here tonight on the Key Model World TV show.
And we will finish off, of course, with the model railway news and a first look at Pete Waterman's Making Tracks 3. So I think we should start by going and visiting Michael Rhodes' home-based layout.
Yes, Barrow Hill Junction we go.
Tony's Trains of Rugby is located at Hillmorton Locks on the outskirts of Rugby. We are open Tuesday to Saturday 10 till 5 but closing early on Saturday at 4 o'clock. We stock Hornby Bachmann, Graham Farish, Pico, Gauge Master, Howden, Oxford and Oxford Diecast, Accurascale and more. We also have a large selection of second-hand models to suit all budgets. You can either visit us in store or reach me on 01788 543 442, visit our website tonystrainsofrugby.com or find us on Facebook.
My name's Michael Rhodes and this is my model railway, which is Barrow Hill Junction, which is a concoction of two layouts over the last 15 years. So this is a double O gauge layout and it fills an old building in our garden which is 40 by 14 feet. I've always thought that most people build model railways to recreate a time of perfection or a time without worries, and so this railway is based on Barrow Hill, which was a place I visited often when I was a student in Cambridge with my fellow railway author Paul Shannon, and we went there and it was a wonderful freight yard with lots of semaphore signals, and so I've sought to recreate that as a place where we basically disappeared and had a good time. Initially it was built 15 years ago in a much smaller space in a double garage, and then moving house 4 years ago to plant a vineyard, we found ourselves trying to fit the model railway into a different space, and we were very fortunate in that my friend John White, who built the original railway, was able to come and help me, and he helped me by taking the sections down, and then we together put together a different layout using the boards from the old railway and building about twice as much boards again. The main feature of the layout is the freight yard, which is based on the 1980 plan of Barrow Hill, obviously scaled down because there wasn't quite enough room for all the tracks, but the yard is designed to allow trains of up to 40 wagons. We then go through a tunnelled area which is surmounted by a town with backdrop of Whitby, and then we have a small diesel depot mainly for DMUs next to the station. And then we have a large curved station which is partly inspired by Newport High Street. That's a long story, but basically it has essence of Newport High Street in it. There's then another big diesel depot with two buildings, which is a bit like Barrow Junction in Newport, and I grew up in South Wales. And then we go down the layout past a goods yard, a Freightliner terminal. And then there's a Y junction off through the wall to 16 hidden sidings which hold 16 12-foot trains. And then we go round the corner past a colliery, under the classic bridge at Barrow Hill, which you railway fans will know at the north end of Barrow Hill is a large brick bridge, and then we come into Barrow Hill. I think my favourite bit is actually the yard and the semaphore signals in the yard. I haven't managed to reproduce them as accurately as I would like, but you used to be able to see with the telephoto lens literally 100 semaphore signals at Barrow Hill. I don't think I've got that many, but I've got a number to represent them roughly. I'm afraid it's a class 20, which may be very boring, but I've got an awful lot of them, and I like them because they were always involved in freight traffic in the 70s and 80s when I did a lot of my photography and writing, and they also come with very nice sound chips, and I have to say that the Bachmann 20 seems to run exceptionally well. I've more or less filled the space here, and I just enjoy coming out with a glass of wine from our vineyard and operating the railway, but I did have a delusional moment when I wondered about getting a branch line with overhead electric catenary for the Class 76s, which were a favourite of mine during the 70s and which I took a lot of pictures of, but I haven't quite worked out how on earth I will get a branch line fitted in, and I'm not sure my wife will allow me to drill more holes in the wall.
I always have layout envy, particularly when someone has a huge layout like that.
It is a massive layout. I mean, it's the best part of 40 foot long. It's got a separate room for hidden storage siding as well. It's kind of a whole load more stock stored off scene as well. The layout itself I love it. It's my kind of layout. Loads of things going off. Great big mainline run as well. Full scale length trains everywhere, and even better, I think you've got different sets of stock, so you can change the air a bit as well.
That's the best part of it. You can just play trains till your heart's content.
Exactly. It's missing that at the moment, but we'll get back there. So
where is Topley Dale?
It's in hiding at the minute. It will be back though in some form or other. Not sure where it's actually going to be called Topley Dale in the end, though, but we'll see.
Hopefully, some of the new models being released will tempt you back to recreate your own home layout yourself.
Oh, definitely. There's definitely a layout in planning. I can tell you that for sure. But it's just it's a bit of a more of a when will it start question at the moment. It's more problem of having nowhere to build it at the moment. I'm building the thing to put it in.
So, talking about locos to draw you back into the hobby at home, the Accurascale Class 92. It took your fancy.
It certainly did, yes.
So I think we should go into the room and have a closer look.
Hi, I'm Alex Yates, and this is TMC, the Model Centre at Beck Hole near Whitby. We're down at the new mailroom at TMC, where we can ship your orders worldwide. Here at TMC, we do many limited editions. We've got our 24.5 tonne mineral wagons that have just come into stock, and we've got our G5 that is due in summer next year, and we've got many other limited editions available on our website. Here at TMC, we stock all major brands, including Hornby and Bachmann, and we also have a large range of pre-owned models, all available in-store and on our website. We offer customisation services when you buy a model from us, such as reel coal, cab crew, DCC sound, DCC, and any little customisation features that you want on your models. We also offer a weathering service. When you buy a model off our website, we have tick box options, so you can spec up the model as much or as little as you want. You can pre-order all future releases on our website with free postage over £50 and no deposit required. Whether you're a customer, old or new, visit us in person or visit our website, themodelcentre.com. We hope to see you soon.
So hello and welcome once again to the Hornby Magazine workshop. Today you join myself and Mike here on the Great Central themed layout, which is turned around with Accurascale's brand new Class 92. So Mike, the Class 92, it's here.
It really is, and well, I've been looking forward to this, but I didn't realise how much I was looking forward to it till I opened the box.
It's a bit of a beastie.
It certainly is. This is a bells, whistles, and then some product for me. I'm really impressed with what Accurascale has done in terms of both the physical appearance of the model, which is, as everyone's already able to see, is really, really good. But it's then all the extra features it's got, like the powered pantographs, the way the chassis is set up inside, the sound functions, the lighting functions, and then on top of that, the running quarters as well.
It's stunning.
It really is.
So before we get further into the model, Mike, tell us about the Class, because on today's railways, they seem to be everywhere.
Well, they were kind of designed as a bit of a go-anywhere electric locomotive. So the first was introduced in 1993. They were designed to be capable of running through a channel tunnel, so on 25 kV AC overhead. They're also designed to be able to run off the 750 volt DC third rail network on the southern region. And they had massive capability in them, designed to be able to operate with really heavy freight trains coming through the Channel Tunnel. They were also intended to end up on the night-style long-distance sleeper trains as well from continental Europe, which were originally planned to run through the Channel Tunnel to the UK. But then things didn't quite go to plan for the 92s, and their original use kind of seemed to be a bit almost sporadic. In more recent times, they've seem to have got a real good foothold at the moment. So there's 46 were built in total over 3 years by Brush Traction. Not all of those are now in traffic anymore, but they're now split between different operators. So DB Cargo has a number of them in service, and also GBRF as well. And you can now see these locomotives everywhere from the Channel Tunnel right up to Edinburgh and Glasgow as well, because they've been used on the sleeper trains as well.
You tend to see them either on the West Coast or on the East Coast. They're always as Thunderbirds stationed at all the major stations, and it's quite the sweet shop of different liveries as you travel up the lines.
Yeah. We particularly saw them on the East Coast earlier this year because actually the Caledonian sleepers have been diverted onto the East Coast main line on Sunday nights and Monday mornings. So they drew up the East Coast main line instead of the West Coast main line, which meant that actually they had a couple of locos out for crew training as well. So you'd see them sitting around light engine as well doing that. But they're still on the long distance freights as well. I mean, actually, like in the latest issue of Hornby Magazine, we've got pictures of the Class 92s in our reality check feature all about the full class history, which is a lot more detail than what we'll talk about here. But we've got photographs of them on rakes of MGRs climbing Shap. There's locos on China's clay slurry tanks with whole block trains of those as well. There's loads of different duties these locos have been used for. So they're really valuable and varied locomotive. And like I say, everywhere from the Channel Tunnel, literally on the south coast of England, all the way up the West Coast main line, the spine of Britain for rail freight traffic up to Glasgow, and as we said, seen down the East Coast main line as well from time to time.
So really a real sort of unsung workhorse to the railways.
Yeah, I think that's probably actually a really good sort of synopsis for them. They are kind of the unsung locomotives, massively powerful, massively capable. And that's like the sleeper trains, for example, with the Mark V coaches. 16 coach trains taking up those massive gradients over the West Coast main line is pretty impressive, especially for a single loco.
So Accurascale have a lot to live up to.
Yes.
So coming to the model, have they lived up to it?
In short, yes. This is fabulous. I think we were all really impressed with the Deltic when that came out. We'd all been really looking forward to seeing the Deltic arrive, and loved all the detail variations that got into the Deltic, loved the crispness of the finish and everything, loved the DCC sound features in it as well. Lots of really great stuff with the Deltic. This, for me, is even better. This is now a cut above the Deltic, which we didn't think was really possible at that time, I don't think.
They're raising the bar, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I suppose now the question is, why am I saying they're raising the bar? So, like I said, obviously it's the actual physical appearance. I think the shaping, the character and the design of the model is really crisp and well finished. I think the quality of the mouldings, the quality of the etched parts that have gone into it, the build quality as well, from what we've seen, has been absolutely superb on these as well. I love all the details like the painting on the bogies, all the pipe work picked out on this. Little things like that really just capture your attention. I like the fully finished buffer beam at one end that's already got all the pipes on it ready to go, just needs the valance popping in underneath. You've then got all the roof detail as well, which is one of the nice characterful things about an AC electric loco, is you get lots of things on top of the roof. You get involved in all those nice details up there as well. But where it gets really interesting for me is what's on the inside and how they've set it up as well.
So I presume, like the Deltic, these are coming DC ready, DC sound fitted, etc.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so you've got two choices of product when they come out. DCC ready, which has got a 21-pin decoder socket in it, but you don't get any speakers or stay alive in that. And then you've got the DCC sound fitted version, which has got a twin speaker setup in them, and they've also got a stay alive capacitor pack built in as well. Plus obviously that 21-pin sound chip that's in there as well. And we should also make mention as well, because they're quite fun, of the twin operating pantographs as well. But unlike what we've seen with some other electric locos, these are actually motor driven rather than servo driven, but it is a separate motor in each pantograph, and it's a lovely action as it goes up and down, really quiet as well.
And of course it works with the sound on our sound fitted version, which is, well, it's very satisfying really.
Yes. So going back inside the locomotive, actually, it's not just about what they've put in it either for me, it's about how they put it in as well. So the whole drive mechanism is much more low profile, and the chassis height is lower as well, which gives space for that big bass speaker on top of the chassis. and all the other functions as well. I really like as well that the capacitor pack, which, like if you've done any sound installation yourself, normally we put a capacitor pack as a pair of flying leads off a decoder and it sits somewhere in the chassis on a space for it. It's actually built into the circuit board. So the capacitors are physically soldered to the circuit board and drop down underneath really neatly as well. And then you've also got the way that actually, there's lots of lighting functions on this, but there isn't a single wire from the locomotive PCV to the body. It's all plunger pickups as well, so when you take the body off, you just unhook the body, clip it off the chassis, and then you've got really easy access to all the internal components as well.
It's almost refreshing to experience it.
Yes, I think it's that design element where we're so used to really good design on the outside, now we're getting to the point where we're getting good design on the inside as well. We've seen other things which have tried to push those boundaries as well, but there always seemed to be something that made it just not quite as good as this.
It does have that air about it that someone who's passionate about trains has gone over it and gone over it and gone over it and refined it.
Yeah, I think that refined is a really good word. I think, like I said, we were really impressed with the Deltic. This is another cut above, another refinement beyond what the Deltic had as well. And then to finish all that off, it's got sewing machine-like running qualities, amazing haulage capacity. It's a joy to operate, isn't it?
And of course, driver dashboard lights.
Indeed, forgot about those.
It's the new norm.
Yeah, new norm.
Forget sprung buffers.
Yeah, driver dashboard lights. It's got, actually we should mention as well, it's got fully switchable head and tail lights as well, so you can turn the tail lights off independently. Cab lights have got independent control. You even get in the box, you get a optional set of what do you call them? The sun visors to go in the cab windows if you want to put them in as well. Quite a characteristic feature of the night. So you see pictures of them coming down the West Coast main line, and quite often the drivers have got the visors down part way in the cab windows. So you can add those kind of features to it as well, and all in your box.
So we can gather that Mike likes it. Are there any negatives?
For me, no.
Well, is this the model?
Do you know what? I wasn't expecting to be quite so taken with the Class 92. I quite like the Class 92s. I've seen a few of them on the East Coast main line, which is quite nice to see them out in different parts of the world. But I suppose part of it is from doing, so people might remember I did that little project on the Hornby one that showed how you could upgrade the Hornby one with a few simple tweaks and things. I was quite taken with what I've done with that as well, but this is like so much better.
I suppose as far as products go, it lives up to its own hype.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. I think anyone who buys one of these Class 92s is going to get it and go, just, wow. That'll be their first sort of view when they open the box. This is what I did. So I'm hoping you do the same thing. If not, I'm on my own.
Or you're easily pleased.
Or I'll be easily pleased, one or the other, yeah. But it's one of those wow moments where you just go, this is going to be good. And like I say, I wasn't quite prepared for how good it was going to be when I started digging into it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite literally praise from Caesar. So if you were to pick a top 3 locomotive, would it enter that list?
I think it'd definitely be in the top 5, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Creating those top 5 lists is really hard, though.
Yeah.
Because there's other things that go in for different reasons as well. So just because I want one, that's another reason to be in my personal top 5.
Well, I suppose it keeps the pressure upon manufacturers such as Accurascale to keep this sort of level of quality going forward as well.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic to see something like this getting this kind of attention as well.
So the important questions, Mike, price and availability.
So price-wise, the DCC ready versions are a shade under £190, and the DCC sound-fitted versions are a shade under £280, and they're going to be arriving with the Accurascale stockists in December, I believe.
So very soon.
Yeah, very soon. They're on the way. They're almost here. I think Accurascale's probably almost as excited as we are about it, actually. Maybe probably actually more, to be fair, actually. And they've been really looking forward to getting this model out.
So Mike, for those looking forward to reading more on the Class 92, where can they see it?
Right, so our full review is in the latest issue of Hornby Magazine. That's issue 187, our January 2023 issue, in which you can read our full review of the Accurascale Class 92 and the full class history about the Class 92s as well. Plus, if you go to keymodworld.com/class-92, you can find all of our features and news and reviews about Class 92s.
Wonderful. Well, I think that brings us nicely to the end of this section. So we'll hand back over to ourselves right after this.
name's Smith, and I'm the owner of Smith's Model Railways. Based in Sheringham in Norfolk, just on the main high street, really close to the Norfolk Railway. So we stock from N gauge to O gauge, brands like Pico, Graham Farish, Hornby, Bachmann. Just launched our new loyalty card just after lockdown when we reopened. So we also offer these gift vouchers. You can either contact us via our telephone, email, or with our contact form on our website.
So we can tell you like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's. I think it's fantastic. There's so much going for this model. Probably a bit of an underrated locomotive actually in terms of its career as a real locomotive. And actually, to see a model done to the specification that this is, it's a bit mind blowing in a way. The quality of the fully functioning pantographs, the sound quality, the chassis design, the lighting features, the detail in it. It's just got everything going for it.
I just wish you'd get off the fence with your reviews.
Well, sometimes I don't know what I feel. But it is just one of those models that just really stands out. I mean, I think I said in my actual print review as well, we were blown away by the Deltic when that first came through. This is better. There's no question of it. This is better than the Deltic.
And it's not just the Accurascale Class 92 that we have to talk about, because there's been so much more going on in our little industry. And I think it's time we were joined by Mark Chivers, editor of Hornby Magazine, for the news.
I'm Anthony of AGL Model Railway Store in Leighton Buzzard, Bedfordshire. We stock the whole ranges for N, OO and O, all the major brands, for DC modelers and DCC modelers. We have a full DCC sound install, which can include sound, smoke and lights. We offer a range of Pico 009 exclusives, and we are also UK's biggest importer of Bachmann USA Thomas and Friends models. We've got great links to the M1. We have mail order, which you can order through the website www.aglmodelrailwaystore.co.uk. We're actually just off the Lake Buzzard High Street. We're in High Street Mews. So if you look for Costa Coffee, directly opposite, you can see us and the sign.
So welcome to the news. Mark's joined me in the workshop today to talk about the latest news for model railways, and we've got a lot of news following on from the Worley National Model Railway Exhibition, and you can see our full range of content about that at keymodelworld.com/Worley Model Railway Exhibition, and there's a link in the description for you to be able to find that. One of the highlights was the number of announcements from Rapido Trains. We had lots of new announcements there, didn't we?
Yeah, it was an action-packed show with lots of announcements, of course, not least of which was the Small Prairie and the B-set coaches for 00.
Yes, exciting additions from Rapido Trains, and actually for the first time as well, the Small Prairie has been done to cover the 45XX and the 4575, which have been done before, but for the first time they're doing the 44XX, the earlier series locos as well, so something brand new in that teething suite as well.
It's going to be exciting, that, and perfect for branch line action.
Yeah, definitely. They've also they've added the NER Y7040 tank as well to their collection as well, so that's another project to look forward to for smaller steam locomotives. Whilst in N-gauge, they've also got the OAA air braked wagons being done in N, as well as doing the LNER dynamometer car as well.
Looking forward to that. There was also mention of the LMS wagon as well, wasn't open?
That's right, yeah, new LMS open wagon as well. So quite a big collection of new announcements from Rapido Trains. And things were busy on the Helgen stand as well. For starters, they released their new 2023 catalogue with one very significantly large...
Very large locomotive.
Yeah. An egg timer.
Fantastic, isn't it? The Class 58. Wonderful locomotive, and I am sure that is going to be very popular amongst O-gauge modelers.
Definitely, they actually had first fully decorated samples on show for the launch of the model as well. Alongside that, also for O-gauge, they've been commissioned by Realism Redefined. That's the owner of Heaton Lodge, Britain's biggest model railway. He's commissioned a O-gauge PCA cement wagon as well.
So some really nice products coming through from Heljan over the course of the year. Dapol as well made some big announcements over the course of the weekend as well. With
one
some
was literally big as well.
Indeed. talking of the O gauge side of things, big wagon.
Yes, they've announced they're going to do the HIA hoppers, which they've already done for OO and N gauge, and now scaling those up to O gauge as well. So that'll go with their new O gauge Class 66.
Going to look very nice, very colourful as well. And for OO, there's also a new wagon for the aggregate side of things with the JHA wagons from which were introduced by ARC, if I remember rightly.
That's right, yeah, the Powell and Dufferin wagons, aren't they? I think I said their name correctly. And they were used on the long stone trains from the Mendip quarries up towards the capital by ARC, weren't they?
Absolutely, they certainly were. And also EP samples of the new chassis for the 262 tank, the IVET 262 tank from Dapol in Engage.
Moving on to KR models, they had a whole range of new products on display in terms of the latest samples. So they had engineering samples for Bellerophon, the fantastic Lot 060 well tank. They had the Hunslet Bobo diesel, the torpedo wagons, the 4DD unit coaches as well were there.
I'm really looking forward to that now.
Good.
Having seen that in the flesh, so to speak, it's looking good.
Yeah. So KR models, they've also announced they're doing the Class 40 for OO gauge as well.
That's going to prove very popular, I'm sure.
Yeah. Moving on, we've also had the first engineering samples of the Class 89 from Accurascale for their joint partnership with Rhodes Sheffield on that logo, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
It's looking nice, that. It really is. Some nice detail on that.
And then something completely different, ADM Turntables has revealed they're making, they're the makers of the indexing turntable drives, which featured a few years back in Hornby Magazine. They're now making a working traverser.
Yeah, it's based on the one at Felixstowe Docks, and it's going to make a really nice feature on a layout.
It certainly will.
Something a bit different.
Definitely. And then to complete our little news roundup, we had another last-minute announcement before Christmas from Bachmann. They've announced they're doing a new version of the mainline Hunslet that recently arrived. This is the first version with a tender. Apparently everyone's been wanting one with a tender, I'll include myself in that. So this is the 040 version of Linda with the tender coupled to it, as it was in the mid-1960s. So something great there for narrow gauge modelers as well.
Yeah, and one of those that we were hoping was going to come out, and it's come out as a nice Christmas present.
Indeed, and I'm hoping they're still with the 240s at some point.
You'll be queuing up outside the model shop on Boxing Day, won't you?
I'll be waiting. I'll be the one. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the news. Remember, you can go to keymodelworld.com/trains/news to get all our latest model railway news as it happens. We're posting new posts up there pretty much every day for new news for model railways. But that does bring us to the end of the news for now. Next, though, we're going to go and make an adventure and go and find what Rich has been doing with Pete Waterman at Milton Keynes.
Here at Rails of Sheffield, we pride ourselves in being the leading model railway retailer in the UK. We stock all gauges from Z up to 3.5 inch gauge, including the very popular N gauge, OO and O gauge. Our customers can also benefit from having their models professionally custom weathered. Also available are our exclusive award-winning models. We also cater for those looking for extra value, with over 200 pre-owned items always in stock ready to take away. So come on down to Rails of Sheffield and see our new showroom. You can find us at 21 to 29 Chesterfield Road, Sheffield, S8 0RL. You can contact us on 0114 255 1436 and also visit us at railsofsheffield.com.
So Milton Keynes Station. It's one of 7 stations in the area and by far the busiest. It has bi-directional lines and it services nearly 7 million people a year. So it makes for a great prototype for Pete Waterman to base Making Tracks 3. Now I've come here today, Milton Keynes Central, to site visit the station with Pete and the team to see the task in front of them ready for building the brand new layout for Chester Cathedral and the Great Electric Train Show 2023.
Well, as you can see, it's a very snowy December afternoon in Milton Keynes, and this is Milton Keynes. And why we're here today, there is nothing like a site visit to measure, to take photographs, and literally to get the feel of the place. Now, I quickly hasten to add here, we have done this with Network Rail's permission. Always ask for permission, very rarely not granted, but they do give you some rules, and please abide by that. Don't just trespass. It's private property. Railways are not open to the public. They're actually private property, so respect that. And I guess that's what we've come for, because that's what we're hoping to model, and it's exactly that way. There's so much movement here that it's perfect with all these buildings. It's just a perfect setting. Well, I've never seen anybody model a modern station like this, because what I see is when people model modern stations, they clutter it. Well, there's so much clutter here, you can't cluster it, because it's actually very clean, very simple, but quite dramatic. Also, you've got bi-directional lines, so you've got stuff running in both directions on the same line. What I really wanted to do was have the Manchester stopped in the platforms while the northwest trains, Liverpool, Preston and Glasgow's flying through at 110, 125 on the other line. Because I've never seen that done. And that's what I wanted to do. The challenge was build a station. Well, if you're going to build something, have a purpose to build it. And that was, it's beautiful and clean, it's simple, it's interesting because it's on a curve, so you can see the buildings at a different angle to all that. But there's lots to put in. I mean, we've got 6 months to do this, and if you look at just the super detail, like you just look at the benches on the platform, there's sort of 45 of them. You look at the Milton Keynes Central signs, there's 45 of them. These take time. And then just look at all the catenary, which is all very different from making tracks 1 and 2. So that's why we wanted to do it. It's a challenge, but we've got to be making tracks 2. It's got to look different. There's a new car park. So if you go on Google Earth and you've seen us using Google Earth maps, the building isn't there. The very far car park is a new car park and doesn't appear on Google Earth. So when we first came to look at the place, the first thing that struck us was the Google Earth maps are already out of date. So we've had to come today to measure and really take lots of pictures of that car park, because A, it's an interesting car park, but it is a massive part of the layout, or our layout. And I guess the snow makes it look even better. Perhaps we should make a snow scene as well. No, seriously, no.
So I'm Phil. I am here today to take the pictures of what we missed when we were down here early in the year. There's the little details that we missed that we didn't know we needed until we started making it. For example, the retaining wall down that other end needs a bit more detail. The station's got that little tiny building on it there. The canopies I wanted some more pictures of, so it's just the little bits and pieces that I was missing. So I do most of the CAD modelling and the laser cutting and the 3D printing and the electronics is generally what I do. So the main thing from the station is the reflection from the big station building behind. Hopefully it'll do a nice photo and video of all the trains shooting through. The other thing is the bidirectional lines. Platforms 5 and platform 2 are both bidirectional, which will allow hopefully for pendolinos to stop and overtake each other, fingers crossed. It's just a physical size. The platforms are effectively 16 feet long, and the machine can only cut 1 metre, so everything is in sections that need joining together. So far it's up to about 1,500 components and it's not finished, just in 16 feet. But other than that, everything's relatively simple. It's all square architecture, so there's no curves, so that makes it a lot easier. I'm not looking at anything in particular, really. I'm just looking for bits that I missed. So, for example, underneath the walkway, I didn't have any photos of. So I'm not looking for anything now. It's what I'll need next week or a month down the line. So it's just random photos of everything, hoping I catch what I need in the future. There will be a deadline and it will be achieved. I think we go in the 23rd or something of July. So that's 20 odd weeks still to go. The station track is laid now. The points are all in. Platforms are in. I should finish the station building for the weekend. So it's doable. The other problem we've got is all the signals, all the control. Stopping a crash on the bidirectional is going to be a big thing. It's all right having the operators do it, but when you have volunteers, it becomes a bigger issue. It will be a 125 mile an hour crash.
We are on the south side of Milton Keynes Station. So this is the bit where we go right. Of course, this doesn't, the real railway doesn't, it's pretty straight, but because it goes round to Wolverton. But we're coming curved into here. So this bridge we haven't got, we just photographed a bridge here. The reason that will be the end of board, the first board out the station. It's there deliberately because it ends the station scene beautifully for us. That sounds like a 66. It certainly is. You see, that's on the bi-directional route. So that train is going south, but 20 minutes ago, if we'd have filmed, there was a 66 on the same line going north. So that's why it's a bit different. It's a nightmare to operate as a model railway, by the way. We haven't quite worked out how we do that yet. We might even leave this one as bi-directional and just use the platform 5, which is the one over there, as bi-directional. Well, it was going great till I come here and saw that I got some of the colours wrong. So because of the industrial action on the railway, I'm unable to work in London for the next 3 weeks. I can catch up. So I've got some of the colours wrong. You need to pay attention to that. So I'll go back this weekend. I'm waiting for ballast to come in a minute. So I'll finish off all the track works in. I've just got to start ballasting, but what I should do now is take the platforms back out and repaint them and start to finish them off. I think it looks lovely, look. Unfortunately, I can't put the banks on that side because you can see it's in a cutting. Unfortunately, that's where the public will be viewing from. But you know, it's a model railway, and if mine looks half as good as that, we've cracked it.
I'm Jack, and welcome to Hatton's Model Railways in Widnes. Here at Hatton's, we stock over 13,000 different product lines, and we also have a huge range of pre-owned items ranging from everything from UK outline, USA outline, Japan. You can also sign up to daily notifications, so whenever we add new pre-owned stock, you can go straight to the website and get first dibs on those too. We also offer a trunk service here at Hatton's that enables you to purchase items and make sure you've secured them. We'll keep them here safely for you, and you can even combine them with other orders and have them all shipped out together. That even enables you to save on postage costs, and is great for overseas customers as well. So we're here in our curbside pickup lockers, so anyone who is local to Hatton's, you can have your order placed online or over the phone and have it placed in one of our lockers as you see here. Truly easy to just come and collect your key, pick it up any time of day, 24/7, you can come pick up your order. Our customer experience team is available from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m, 7 days a week UK time. You can place orders, query anything, and you can also speak to our product expert team who are available to give you expert full-on guidance with our entire product range. You can get in touch via email, social media, live chat, or phone.
So Making Tracks 3 is going to be an absolutely insane layout.
It is. I love it. I think I've got to take some responsibility for this one as well.
They were very clear it was your fault.
It's my fault. That's when it all goes wrong. But I loved what they've done with the first two layouts, with the main line scenes. I thought Hillmorton Junction with the grade separation, I thought it was just amazing. The concept of all the scale length trains, the long running line for the layout as well. It's something that, well, it's just not been done by anyone else, is it? And then they've put the Making Track spin on Milton Keynes Station, and they haven't just done a small station like we do at home. They've done the full thing. We're talking 18-foot long platforms.
It's just incredible. And to think that they're going to, as per normal, let the public run the layout with bi-directional lines, with pendolinos going full speed at each other, that's going to be incredible. Someone is going to get a very nice video clip, I think.
Of the two trains passing at high speed.
Hopefully, yeah, passing. Yeah, that's totally what I meant. Yeah.
It will be amazing. I just think it's a brilliant concept. I think they've taken the idea of building a station and they're going to morph it into something amazing. I can't wait to see the next steps.
And of course, Making Tracks 3 will, over the summer, be at Chester Cathedral. However, we can reveal for the first time that the Great Electric Train Show 2023, we're going to have something rather special with it.
Yeah, so Making Tracks, Pete Waterman and the team have brought both the Making Tracks 1 and the Making Tracks 2 layouts to the Great Electric Train Show in 2021 and 2022. And we're going one step further in 2023 with a grand plan to put all three layouts together. So this is going to be a 152 feet long single model railway. It'll be being put together for the first time ever at the Great Electric Train Show. This is going to be a unique thing to see this in this form. It's going to be amazing. And even better is actually we've got early bird tickets on sale now for the 2023 Great Electric Train Show.
And of course, I'll put links to those down below because that's one definitely not to be missed.
Yes, indeed. So shop.keypublishing.com. You can order your Great Electric Train Show tickets right now. Early bird prices until the end of March. So cheaper deal for you as well.
153 foot. Is the hall big enough?
152.
152. Oh, okay.
The
hall's big enough.
The reason it's 152 is that's the maximum length I can have in the hall before we run out of space to put people in. Yeah. So, but this is again for the Great Electric Train Show. I'm really grateful to Pete and the Railnuts team for actually agreeing to do this. I think we've all got a little bit of madness in us, and it all kind of works quite nicely together. So
that's going to be insane.
It certainly is. Yeah, it's going to be interesting getting it there as well.
Yeah, and of course the only place you can see it, we'll reiterate, is the Great Electric Train Show. So get your tickets booked well in advance.
And don't forget as well, we will be following the whole Making Tracks 3 story all the way through, right from its construction as the starting now, right through to its completion in the summer for the Chester Cathedral event as well. And if you're a regular Key Model World visitor as well, you can find regular updates from Chris in the Railnuts group, who's doing regular updates on what's happening in progress with the layout as well. So you can keep up to date with the latest modelling work they're doing as well.
Constant content.
Absolutely.
What we like. And talking of content, we have a brand new Hornby Magazine yearbook.
Yes, the 2023 Hornby Magazine yearbook is out now and in both hardback and bookazine forms as well. So you can go again to shop.keypublishing.com or call us on 01780 480 404 to order your copy for home delivery right now. It's in stock. can buy one. I've got one on the table.
I was going to say, ours has literally just arrived.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to go and read it.
Yeah.
Time for a brew.
The latest issue of Hornby Magazine is also on sale now as well. That's issue 187, our January 2023 edition, which includes our full print review of the Class 92 as well, as you can read that in detail there and see all the photographs of the model up close and personal. And don't forget as well, if you're a Key Model World subscriber or you've got the bolt-on offer from the events during the autumn, then there's even more content and video of the Class 92 online at keymodelworld.com.
So that brings us nicely to the end of another Key Model World TV show. I don't quite know where these hours go.
They do go past fast, don't they?
It's worth tuning in next time because we have a special all on the Hornby 2023 range.
That's right, next time is a special edition of the Key Model World TV show where we're going to take you through the whole of what Hornby's got planned for the year ahead. And, well, we can't wait to share it with you.
So all that's left to say is Happy Christmas and have a Happy New Year as well. And it's a bye from myself and Mike. See you next time. Bye for now.
Introducing Key Model World, your new online destination for everything railway and scale modelling. Featuring exclusive videos and features, unseen images, step-by-step guides, railway history and the latest news. Plus, it's home to our full layout build series.
I'm going to stop you right there though, because I didn't do this. This is all you're doing.
Join us for the latest content from Key Publishing's modelling titles, Hornby Magazine and Airfix Model World. Sign up today for as little as £3.75 per month, or if you're a magazine subscriber, bolt Key Model World onto your subscription package now. For more details, visit keymodelworld.com.